Years ago, I read a great book called E-Myth by Michael Gerber, and it had a dramatic impact on my life, and I've never been the same. The idea behind the book is that you should build your business around a franchise model. And that doesn't mean that you need to go out and open franchises or sell franchises, but to organize your business, develop systems and processes like a franchise. If you think about the successful franchises, whether you like their food or not, the successful franchises like McDonald's Corporation, who have stood the test of time, they have a specific set model of how they do things. Everything has a place, everything has a timing to it. Everything has an order, and so it's repeatable, duplicatable, and scalable. That means it can be done again and again in scale. And I think it's important that when you think about your own company, whether you're building something small, maybe you're trying to do a few $100,000 a year in business and you're maybe a consultant or something, or you're trying to build a 10 or 20 or 50 or $100 million enterprise or bigger, that you build it around a franchise model. So I want to tell you a little bit about how we've applied that here at Harbor City Capital, and maybe from that you can learn something that can be beneficial for you and your business as well. We've created what we call the pod model. Pods are a known term in investment funds, and we're a little bit different kind of an investment fund because instead of buying stocks and bonds or real estate or anything like that, we buy and sell leads and digital assets on the internet, but we still build our business around a pod model. So for each pod, it is focused on a specific market sector or a niche, like baby boomers or individual investors or business owners of a certain size or business opportunity seekers. Those are all niche markets. So we organize each of our pods around a niche market or an avatar, a group of people, an audience that makes sense. And then we have a duplicatable model. So we have a leader of that pod, we have people that work within that pod that do specific things, but everything done inside of that pod is a repeatable model that can be carried over into other niche markets. So while there's a unique difference between one audience and another audience, there's really no difference between buying Facebook ads or buying Google ads or writing copy or a headline or building a web page or designing a marketing funnel or creating a lead magnet or some sort of an attraction vehicle to get people onto a list or to get them to take action. All of those things are duplicatable and repeatable. Those are systems, and that's how we're scaling. When you look at where we are today and where we're headed, our goal is to have $1 billion in assets under management fully deployed in our digital marketing arbitrage and digital asset business by the end of the year 2020. That's what I call my Vision 2020. When you, I think it was Jim Collins wrote the book Built to Last, and in there he talked about BHAG's, big, hairy, audacious goals. That's our big, hairy, audacious goal. That is to have $1 billion in assets under management and deployed in our operation by the end of the year 2020. So that's what we're doing. But how do we do that? You can't think of it as, well, oh my gosh, how would we deploy $1 billion? We look at, I break it down into pods, and they say, okay, if we have this many different pods deployed in this many different niche markets, and each of them has this amount of capital to deploy within their niche market, then it's a very doable thing. In fact, we could probably deploy more than $1 billion through the pod model. So I want you to think about it in your business. What is it that you do that is repeatable, duplicatable, scalable? How can you systematize that? I want to strongly encourage that you get the book E-Myth, and there's a whole bunch of versions of it that have come out. The actual E-Myth book is really difficult to find. I think it's completely out of print. I have an old copy of it, but I also have E-Myth Revisited, and there's some other E-Myths for specific industries and things like that. But a big shout out to Michael Gerber, who's now moved on to other things in terms of his company. I believe he sold his E-Myth company a few years back. But a big shout out to him. Had a dramatic impact on my life and on our business model, and in the past where we built a chain of magazines, and then today with what we're doing where we're literally building a chain or a distribution network, a pod network in the digital marketing space. So anyway, I highly recommend that you look at your business through the lens of a franchise company and see how can you systematize things, how can you make everything repeatable, duplicatable, scalable.
Good job!